The garden within, growth, confidence, and the evolving self. Inside each of us is a garden, a vast inner ecosystem. But unlike the physical world, this garden doesn't grow trees and flowers. It grows skills, ethics, knowledge, and beliefs. Each one is like a plant, some natural, some spiritual, some man-made. And just like in nature, each plant passes through stages of growth. Some plants start from nothing but fear, hesitation, uncertainty, or weakness. They're small, fragile, barely alive. But if we tend to them, they begin to change. We feed them not with water and sunlight, but with practice, reflection, and effort. The source of this nourishment is what we can call spirit energy, a divine current within us that flows as two forces, willingness and passion. Willingness is the drive to move forward even when things feel unclear. Passion is the fire that makes us care deeply. Together, they are what make growth possible. The plants of the inner garden. Not all inner plants are the same. Knowledge plants grow from curiosity and study. Skill plants grow from repetition and correction. Ethical plants grow from conscience and moral intention. Spiritual plants grow from reflection and humility. Emotional plants grow from experience and awareness. Each one grows at its own pace, influenced by how much care it receives. When a plant is left ignored, it weakens. When it's nurtured, even slowly, it strengthens. Eventually, a well-fed plant matures, and when it does, it bears confidence. Confidence is not something we start with. It is the last stage of inner growth, the fruit that appears only after we've gone through fear, effort, and many small improvements. It is what allows us to act boldly and with clarity, not because we no longer feel doubt, but because we have proven to ourselves that we can move through it. The creatures of emotion. But plants do not grow alone. They attract life. In this inner garden, the creatures that roam are our emotions and reactions. What we feel in response to how our inner world is developing. Every plant has creatures that feed on it, and those creatures change as the plant grows. When a plant is weak and underdeveloped, the creature it feeds is fear, nervous, small, full of hesitation. As the plant grows stronger, the creature evolves. With more fruit and nourishment, it becomes courageous, focused, even joyful. These creatures don't just live beside us, they live in us. They are our inner moods, emotional states, and instinctive reactions. And just like plants, they can grow into something powerful and helpful, or wild and destructive, depending on what they're feeding on. Even a destructive skill, like lying or stealing, follows this path. It begins with fear, grows through repetition, and ends in confidence. Confidence in the wrong thing. That's why tending to the right plants matters. Not everything that grows leads to peace. Confidence as the result of full growth. What we often call self-confidence is not one thing. It is many confident states across different parts of life. A person might be confident in public speaking but unsure in parenting. Confident in their job but insecure in their relationships. Why? Because their garden is full in some areas and undernourished in others. Where growth is complete, confidence blooms. Where growth is stalled or missing, uncertainty lingers. Confidence, then, is not a personality trait. It is a product, the result of inner cultivation. The more you feed the good plants, the more confident the emotional creatures become. Over time, this builds not just skill in one area, but a deep, stable sense of inner peace. Fixing the roots. Sometimes we feel stuck, not because we lack worth, but because one of our vital inner plants is either broken, undeveloped, or growing in the wrong direction. That plant might be ethical, like courage, or emotional, like trust, or spiritual, like hope. If left alone, the absence of that plant creates a gap, and the creature that once fed on it becomes confused, fearful, or angry. To move forward, we don't just force confidence. We repair the roots. We nurture what's lacking. We begin again if we must. And as the plant grows, so does the creature. Together, they become a new source of strength, one that doesn't rely on pretending, but on inner reality. The garden and the farmer. Here's the deepest truth of all. The garden is not just symbolic. It represents your subconscious mind, the part of you that stores feelings, habits, desires, and instincts. It is powerful, silent, and always active. The farmer, your conscious mind, lives inside this garden. If the farmer fails to tend it, the garden will take over. You will live in whatever grows there, even if you don't remember planting it. That's why reflection and conscious work are not luxuries. They are survival. You either shape your inner world or it shapes you. But the good news is this: no matter how wild the weeds, no matter how long the neglect, you can still plant again, still prune, still water, still awaken the spirit energy inside. Confidence is never gifted. It is grown. And once it grows, it becomes yours, not as something to show off, but as something to live from.